Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. Okay, Sparkle Tree. Hi, April. Hi, KJ. Hi, Kim. Hi, Lily. Hi, Justin. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Holly. Hi, Diamante. Hey, Catherine. Hi, James. Hey, Justin. Hi, Pippa. Hi, Barb. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Lady Rose. Hi, Draconis. Hi, Mace. Hi, Trisha. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm so glad, user. Thank you. Hi, Liz. How you doing? Happy Friday. Hi, KJ. About the apartment, I'm not sure, Justin. I have a couple that are about an apartment. Can you give me some more details? Okay, yeah, that's the maintenance man. That's called the maintenance man. Hi, Deborah. Do you want me to add that to the list for you, Justin? Is that your request for the night? The maintenance man? Blackberry, purple, and blue? Yeah, sure. That'd be great. It's pouring here right now. Oh my gosh, really, KJ? You have one like that? That's so creepy. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Okay, you guys, and go ahead if you have a story request, go ahead and start writing them in the chat in all capital letters so I can see them. And I will write them down for the polls. Happy Friday. And if you guys could do me a big favor and share out that live, hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner. And then there's like a little yellow circle with arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs and helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Thank you, Lily. Edward's family, it just depends on the story that wins. Some are like anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. Some are 20 minutes to 25 minutes. So it just kind of depends on which story gets voted for each time. Oh, I just got a merch order from Hope. Thank you so much for ordering some merch. I promise you'll love it. It's all been really, really good quality. I got you, James. Don't worry. No, yeah, there's a couple Justins in here. Isn't that funny, Michelle? Hi, Gotham. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. Hi, Vampy. Hi, Lisa. Isn't the baby deer from James adorable? James, did you hear that? Justin, our new friend Justin, said that the baby deer is adorable. I thought so too. Well, I'm like obsessed with wildlife and deer and all of the animals. And so he surprised me with that one. And I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. I agree. Hi, Mother V. All right, Deborah, I got your Sasquatch. Oh, thank you, Sparkles. You like the Jamaican story? I can put that on the list. It's the White Witch of Rose Hall. Yes, James, the little purple deer you made. The little cute little baby deer. It's like a purple deer. Trisha, thank you. Look at him with his watch. I like how they're different each time. Hi, Echo. Oh my gosh, thank you, Diamante. That was so cute. He's holding flowers. I'm glad, KJ. James said it just clicked for me. Yeah, the baby deer. Hi, Brian. Thanks for the level up, Sparks. Happy Friday. Hi, Erica. Thanks for the cozy cryptids, love bug. How you doing? Thanks for the populars. Happy Friday. Hi, Mary. Okay, Sherry. Okay, Kat, I got your Fresno creepy pants. And Sparkles, okay, I put it on the list for you. Trisha, thank you. KJ, you told your therapist about this page? I love that. You're so sweet. I mean, I hope in a good way. Oh my gosh, what's he doing? Does he have a little camera? Winter Moon, that was so cute. And thank you, Ghostwriter House. Thanks, Brian. Thank you, Trisha. That's so cute. Oh my God, Trisha, he looks so cute. He looks like he's smiling. And he had little sunglasses on. Why did he have little sunglasses on? They're so cute. Me too, Winter Moon. I love the capybaras. They're my favorite animals, so it's like so exciting. Really, Shells? Oh my God. That's such a what a compliment. You're a therapist and you told a client about my page? Oh my gosh. That's high praise. Thank you so much. That makes me feel really good. Oh. Thanks, Shells. That's amazing. Also, don't forget to write your story requests in all capital letters, or I probably will not see them. Have a good night, Mace. Thanks. Okay, you guys. I'm gonna fill out. Okay, gotcha, Diamante. I'm gonna fill out the first poll and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, the first pull is ready. We have the White Witch of Rose Hall. We have the Pine Barrens Beast. We have the Maintenance Man. We have the Yule Hunger. And we have the Lep Castle. You can vote in the blue box in the top left-hand corner if you're on TT. And once again, it's the White Witch of Rose Hall, the Pine Barrens Beast, the Maintenance Man, and the Yule Hunger, and the Lep Castle. Okay, Sparkles. Justin Sparkles would like White Witch. Thank you. Thank you, Eilish. How are you doing, cutie? Happy Friday. I guess it's Saturday there, right? All right, who's in the lead on the poll? Let's see here. Oh my goodness, White Witch and Pine Barrens are going after each other. And, and the Pine Barrens Beast is the winner. Whoop whoop. I'm so proud of you, Eilish. You went through a walk in the woods at night. It is peaceful, isn't it? Thank you, Ethan. I love that. It's so cute. Mary, I don't think so. I see that comment. What was your other comment? Oh, yay, Sharper. I'm so glad. Hi, JK. Hi, Ron. I'm looking to see if there's another. Mary, you said, how's everyone's Friday? How's your Friday? Yeah, don't worry, Sparkle. She wins a lot, so it'll come up. I am, Ron. How are you? Happy Friday. Yeah, Holly, I saw your request. All right, you guys, I will be right back with the tale of the Pine Barrens Beast. Who do we have in here from New Jersey? Aw, Eilish. Same for me. Same. Coming in here is an instant mood lift for me, too. Okay, I'll be right back. Oh, we got New Jersey. Yeah, we got a lot of New Jersey people in here. Hi, Linda. Also, thank you to everybody who is tapping the screen If you just tap the screen with your fingers throughout the night, it helps a lot. It helps get us pushed out to the FYP, and it's free and easy. Also, while I'm setting up the next story, if you guys could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner? And then there's a little circle, a yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other. And it says repost. And that puts my live. Oh my gosh, Holly, that's so pretty. Thank you. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow out this beautiful porch. That was so pretty, Holly. Thank you. Glenda says, oh no, I've been tapping with my toes. Yes, actually, Justin. It's funny you ask. Because Jersey is actually a country. It does fall under the British Crown. And when they came over here and settled, they named it New Jersey. Jersey is actually the name of a country. Yeah. I hate to sound like, well, actually, so I always hate like correcting people, but Jersey is actually a country. There's also a country named Georgia. And New York used to be called New Amsterdam. So yeah, you can give it a goog. There is a country called Jersey. And so the New Jersey is because they moved here and they had their own country, basically. Well, they thought they did, to name whatever the hell they wanted. And they just decided to pick names they already had and add new to it because that's how much they lack creativity. They could have literally named it whatever they wanted. And they're like, New Jersey. How about that? New Amsterdam. How about that? Like, dude, I'm sorry, but if it was the founding mothers, I bet you they would have been a little more creative. Just saying. Hi, Leslie. Yeah, like New Jersey, New Amsterdam. And did you notice that there's like in every town or in every state, there's like the same town names? They were just like, how about another Springfield? Okay, let's throw another Springfield in here too. Yeah. Like y'all could have named it anything. There's enough words and names in the world to like, we would have not had to have any repeating. You know, there's a Salem in every state. Why? Why? Come up with something better. Anyway, be right back. Oh, there's no Salem in Alaska? Okay. So we've got one. And there's probably not a Salem in like Hawaii, right? So like, but like, you know, okay, the lower 48, I would say. Thank you, Sharper. I really like it. I really wanted to give it the point of view of like scared from the tent, you know? There's no Salem in Oklahoma, Stephanie. I love that. Love that. Hi, just saying opinion. I see you. I see you. Hi. Who were you bragging about me to? That's kind. Oh, Kim, every city does? I didn't know that. Yeah, that's true, Leslie. Mississippi has a town called Hot Coffee. That's hilarious. I kind of love that. I kind of love that. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Amber. I'm so glad, Snowfall. I'm glad I can help you fall asleep. Okay, you looked it up. So there's 25 Salems in 25 states. Okay, so half the states. Not all of them. Half. That's still hilarious. And Snowfall, don't worry. If you missed the story, just go to my YT channel and you can finish it anytime you want. That's so funny, Mackenzie. Oh my God. Can somebody pin? I'm trying to... Mackenzie says in Massachusetts, we have a town called Sandwich. And the police car's there. Say Sandwich, please. I love information like this. I'm tucking that one away. I'm going to tell somebody that. I'll be like, did you know there's a town called Sandwich? Sabrina the Teenage Witch was obviously from Salem, Massachusetts. Justin, come on. It's a witch show. Salem, Canada. Stephanie, that's what Justin was hoping. Justin's like, you think she might be from Canada? That would be really cool. Kim, I didn't even have to look it up. She's a witch that lives in a giant old Victorian. She's supposed to be in Massachusetts. Hocus Pocus is also set in Salem, Massachusetts. The other Salems aren't associated with witches, just the Massachusetts one. My brother used to live in Salem, Virginia, and nothing about witches there. And Kim I know, and that's why we get along so well. You live near Salem, Virginia? Oh, my brother used to be the vice president of Roanoke College. The spookiest place I've ever been? Well, what do you consider spooky? Like spooky cool or spooky scary? Oh, that's probably true about the Oregon, huh? Probably right, Deborah. The most haunted vibes from, I'm not gonna lie, I actually just went to, I would say my top couple places that I've ever felt just a couple weekends ago with Ange from TikTok. Yes, we are friends now from TikTok. We've hung out a couple times in real life because we live kind of close to each other. And hey guys, can somebody help T-Bear explain how to do that? And so we went, yeah, Salem was a cigarette too, just saying. You're correct. It was absolutely also a cigarette. That is right. But so we went to what's it called? We went to the Eloise Asylum a couple weekends ago. And I had a really intense experience there. And I am definitely an intuitive. I definitely am sensitive to energies and stuff like that. But I've never really had an experience like that. And I ended up feeling like the physical pain of the people there. And it was really weird. And we actually like, the gate was open. We didn't have to like sneak it. Like the gate was just like propped open in one part. We were like, okay. And so we literally just, we just like went in. But they did like, they were one of the places that was known for developing and testing out electroshock therapy and lobotomies and all kinds of other things like the ice baths and all these other things. And I could literally feel, and I've never had this happen, so I'm not one of those people that goes every place and is like, oh my god, it's really affecting me, because I've seen those on the like YT investigations we watch, and I never really believed those people when they say like physical pain, like I'm feeling I'm like, they already knew that they were in, like puked in the stomach, and then they're like, oh, my stomach hurts. I don't know, I just never really believed it. I believe in ghosts, but I didn't believe that, like theatrics of it, that part. Well, I definitely felt the most intense pain in my temples of my head that I almost couldn't see out of my eyes, and I couldn't concentrate. I wish Angela was in here right now because she could verify. I was having trouble like seeing, keeping, like concentrating. It was wild, and I've never had anything like that happen to me before. But it felt like just intense pain in my temples, and then my eyes, pressure in my eyes. It almost felt like my eyeballs were going to pop out. It like hurt so badly that it was crazy too, because Angela wanted to go find the cemetery. We couldn't find it, and so then like we went our separate ways, but I like pieced out fast. I was like, bye, love you, girl. See you later. Boom, boom, zoom. And she kept wandering. And then she messages me and she's like, come back. I found a different cemetery. I was already on the highway, gone. And as soon as I got away from that area, all that pain went away. And I'm like not a headache person, and it was awful. And as soon as I got on the highway and I was far enough away, it just stopped. Yeah, probably, guys. Yeah. And I've never really had that happen. So that, to answer your question and tell you a personal story of mine, that would be probably the most haunted experience I've had, and it just happened to me a couple weeks ago. And Eloise Asylum is no joke. Yeah, so Ange stayed alone wandering around the graveyard, but then she made friends with some other people who were there looking at graves, and they were locals, and they like showed her some things. And then so we're gonna go back. I'm just going to have to do this time. I went in open on purpose. I usually go in open places because it doesn't usually affect me, and I can really pick up. I have a strong ability to do that. So I just wanted to see what it was like, and it was not a good idea. So next time I will be definitely going with some I will be protecting myself before I go, putting up some protections. T-Bears, did you get it figured out? Okay, good. Because it works, and then you can just snooze, and then it ends on a black screen. All right, you guys, I'll be right back. A quick swig, and then I will read the Pine Barrens Beast. But sometimes I like to tell my own stories when you guys ask, because, it's fun to toss them in there every once in a while. I love that, Paul. That's a huge compliment. And Sylvia, I'm a crystal witch. So everything I do is pretty much crystal based. So golden sheen obsidian, I would say, is a really good one. Also tourmaline, black tourmaline is another very good one. As well as, thank you, Jason, as well as fluorite is very good at neutralizing negative energy. Thank you, Howie. Yep, Kim, Eloise was a major hospital. They were a pioneer in all kinds of areas in healthcare. So, were they pioneers in the lobotomy and electroshock? Yeah. But were they also pioneers on, like she just said, kidney dialysis and because they took a lot of risks and they did a lot of things back when there weren't a lot of laws. So they were able to, it's the same thing as the body snatchers. Everybody talks about the guys that used to take the corpses. As much as people like about that, if you know that the university in Edinburgh in Scotland had I think they still do have the #1 medical school in the world. And they basically came up with so much medical discoveries because they were robbing graves. Yep, Leslie, yep. And it sounds terrible, but I don't really believe souls are in those. And I feel like sometimes there are things that they have a silver lining. I'm not saying I would go do them, and that I'm not saying I condone them, but I'm saying in the aftermath, sometimes amazing discoveries come out of it. And sometimes people who do break the rules end up doing more good than harm. Eloise Justin is in Michigan. It's right near Detroit. And I drove there. And Angela drove there. We just met up and hung out there. Yep, it's in Michigan. Right near Detroit. You worked in a cemetery for 23 years, Jason. Did you experience a lot of ghosts or anything? Because I don't feel like they hang out with their bodies. If I was a ghost, I wouldn't hang out where I was buried. Some random cemetery in the middle of who knows where. I don't think I'd really be hanging out there. Hi, Matt. See, I told y'all, look, he said he never experienced anything in the cemetery for working there. That's what I thought. I don't feel like cemetery. I don't know. I just have never. I've never thought, I would never hang out there. Wait, Draconis, you're in Pontiac? What? What? You're in Pontiac? No, really? Thank you, Gabrielle. You worked at a funeral home in high school? Wow. Elwood Cemetery. Okay, Paul. Yeah, KJ, exactly. I'd be off haunting people. I wouldn't be hanging out in a cemetery. Jason said he experienced nothing working in the cemetery. And that's what I thought. You hear voices and see spirits in cemeteries. That's why they hardly go down. Oh, really? I wonder why they would be there. I wouldn't want to hang out with my flesh suit. You know, like, oh, that's where I'm decomposing in the ground. I don't know. I don't feel like that would. I mean, maybe they come when their relatives visit. I don't know. Yes, Maureen. Westland is a suburb of Detroit. You have, Suzanne? I guess maybe it's different for everybody. You would sleep there at night, Jason? Whoa. Did you have a harmonica by any chance? I'm just kidding. Anybody get that joke? Probably not. Wait, Paul, how do you know about the River Raisin battlefield? I kayak the River Raisin every summer. You know, it's the windiest river in the world. Bet you didn't know that. It was in the Guinness Book of World Records. Oh, that makes some sense, Michelle. Yeah, maybe that. Oh, really, Wolfgang? Whoa. Paul, do you really? Interesting. That's not the same tense, CJ. Did I say fun fact? I do that all the time. It's so embarrassing. Did I say fun fact, Ramen? I do that all the time. I'm always like, fun fact. Do I believe our pets have souls? I do, 100%. Are there people who don't? What? Are there people who don't think that? Also, minutes of horror confirms your Appalachian experience. What does that mean? You like my fun facts, thanks. Aw, thanks, Ramen. Yeah, no, I say that all the time. Fun fact, but I don't even notice I'm saying it. I also slap my knees, so I'm just like a straight up dork, but that's okay. Hi, Ashley. That's crazy, Wolfgang. Which one where she was stuck in another dimension? I've seen all the Twilight Zones. Oh, thanks, Holly. I am full of random knowledge. But it's genetic. My mom was actually on Jeopardy. Mary, we love you for that. Thanks. A cool dork. You know what, Michelle? I am kind of a cool dork. I'm a weird. Like, I was always like the nerdy popular girl. Always been that way. Did I reach 36K? Did I really, Leslie? Oh my god. Yay, you guys. Eee, 36K, guys. Yeah, see, that's exactly me. But luckily, the cool kids liked me enough to accept my weirdness, too. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it, you guys. Yay. I can't believe it. 36,000 people. That's amazing. All right, enough blabbering. Quick swig, and I'll be right back with the Pine Barrens Beast. Feel free to repost and share out the live. It really helps a lot. And thank you for all the taps. Leslie, you're hilarious. I can like hear you saying that. Is this a vampire one? No, girl. No, it's not. Thank you, Everett C. and Holly. Thanks for the big horn. That little guy is incredibly cute. But you know what I just realized the other day, CJ? I drink chalky milk every day, and I never even thought about it. I drink Fairlife protein shakes every single day. And this morning, I was cracking open. I was like, wait a minute. Do I drink chalky milk every day too? Oh shit. Yeah, the Fairlife ones. Because they're like the most, they taste okay and they're low fat compared to like Bolthouse is the best, but they're so fattening. Yeah, they're so good. Yeah. And I just realized because you posted Fairlife in the Decord or something, like the big jug of it, right? And I love the regular full fat, like whole, like Fairlife is so good. Like I'm a chalky milk girl too. And so I was like, man. But then I was like, you were talking about how you drink chalky milk every day. And I was like, every day. And then I was like, I opened it this morning and I was like, wait a minute. I drink chalky every day. Because I take my medicine with it, so it coats my stomach. And I was like, damn. True Moo is good too. But I do love chalky. Hi, Eric. Wait, salted caramel? Excuse me, Kim? Excuse me? Excuse me? They come in salted caramel? I'm going to need to... Excuse me, what? Mary said, not me just finishing a glass of chunky. But I'm not going to lie. The Fairlife shakes taste like when your parents put Hershey syrup in milk when you were a kid. They're okay. But like the full fat chalky milk or like the Bolthouse chocolate shakes, those are chalky. Like the shakes are low fat. The Fairlife actual chocolate milk, like the whole milk chocolate milk or vitamin D or whatever it is damn good. Oh, Dawn, it's your birthday? I'd love to go through one night on the porch where I'm not like craving something I can't have. Happy birthday, Dawn. I know. Now I'm craving the real fattening chalky. Damn it. That was my fault too. Okay, be right back. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Pine Barrens Beast. Oh my god, I love that. What is that? Is that a butterfly flipping the pages? God, I love that. Thank you, Ramen. That's so cute. Russian princess name. What, Leslie? Happy Friday, Kenneth and Jennifer. I know that when most people hear the word cryptid, they think of Bigfoot, the Chupacabra, or my favorite, the Mothman. But those stories always felt like distant fun, scary campfire tales. But nothing that truly ever made my stomach drop. Not until I came face to face with something I can barely describe. Something that still haunts me when I close my eyes at night. This is the story of how I survived an encounter with the beast of the Pine Barrens. Now, if you've never heard of the Pine Barrens, it's a sprawling, desolate stretch of forest in New Jersey, covering over 1 million acres. It's the kind of place where civilization feels like an afterthought. Endless miles of twisted trees, forgotten trails, and ghost towns swallowed by nature. And if you know anything about East Coast legends, you know what lurks there. The Jersey Devil. I grew up hearing stories about it. The devil bird with leathery wings, hooves, and a scream that could stop your heart. Some say it was the cursed 13th child of Mother Leeds, doomed to stalk the barrens for eternity. Others claim it's just folklore. But after what I went through, I know better. This happened a few years ago. I was doing a solo camping trip. I know, dumb idea, right? But I'd been feeling burnout, and I needed an escape. So I packed up my Jeep, grabbed my tent, and I headed deep into the barrens. I found a nice, secluded spot near a creek. I set up camp and I spent the first day hiking, enjoying the crisp autumn air. Everything felt peaceful, quiet. Too quiet in hindsight. The first night I woke up around 2 a.m. to the sound of something moving outside my tent. At first, I thought it was just a deer, maybe a raccoon. But then I heard breathing. Deep, raspy, and wrong. Not animal, and not human. I froze, my fingers clutching the sleeping bag. The air felt heavy and charged, like the moment before a lightning strike. And then I heard it. This guttural, choked scream that made my blood turn to ice. It wasn't just a noise, it was a feeling. An invasive, mind-wrapping terror that told me that I needed to run. But I couldn't move. The footsteps circled my tent, slow and deliberate. Whatever it wasn't in a hurry. It knew I was trapped. My inadequate flashlight was within reach, but I was afraid if I turned it on. That's so cute. Thanks, Michelle. I was afraid if I turned it on, I'd see whatever was out there. And I wasn't sure if I could handle that. Then, the tent fabric shifted inward. Something pressed against it, close enough that I could make out the shape. A long, spindly limb ending in clawed fingers. My breath hitched. I felt like I was going to be sick. and it dragged those claws down the fabric, a sound like nails on a coffin lid. I don't know how long I laid there paralyzed. Minutes, hours. Eventually, the thing backed away. I heard it retreat, heavy hoof-like steps fading into the woods. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. As soon as the sun came up, I packed my gear in record time and I bolted. But the story doesn't end there. When I got back to town, I did some research, and what I found out made my stomach turn. Over the centuries, countless people had described the same thing. A gaunt, winged creature with glowing eyes, seen stalking the pine barrens, attacking livestock, even chasing cars. And the scream, that blood-curdling, nightmare-fueled shriek, it matched every recorded description of the Jersey Devil. I still don't know why it left me alone that night. Maybe it was toying with me. Maybe I wasn't worth the kill, or maybe it just wanted me to know that it was real. That it's out there, waiting, watching. So if you ever find yourself deep in the pine barrens at night, do yourself a favor. Don't listen too closely to the sounds outside your tent. Because sometimes the stories are true. And sometimes the things in the dark are looking right back at you. And that's the tale of the Pine Barrens Beast. Keep it up, CJ. You keep writing the word dick shooter in my chat. Stop it. By the way, thank you to the Porch Pals who are typing keywords in the chat that help AI correctly categorize what this live is about. Like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Goosebumps, spooky stories, storyteller, scary stories, paranormal, supernatural, anything like that that helps AI figure out what we're about, because we are not about a town in Idaho either. So I don't care if it's a town. That's not what this live is about. Thanks, guys. Exactly, average C, so please stop typing it. Thank you. Cats and Coffee comes in with vampire. Cats and Coffee is just like vampire. Thank you, Cats and Coffee. But you mustn't, Justin. There is no if you must. There is absolutely no reason. Thank you. Thank you. 5150, that's so sweet. Kim. Oh, Vanessa, you're in the Pine Barrens? Well, how's it going there? Do you have anything to report? You hearing anything? All right, you guys, I have the next poll ready. We have the White Witch of Rose Hall, the Djinn, the Maintenance Man, Yule Hunger, and La Lechuza. You can vote if you're on TT. In the top left-hand corner, there's a blue box. And we have the White Witch of Rose Hall, the Djinn, the Maintenance Man, the Yule Hunger, and La Lechuza. Leslie, what's like after a massage? Hi, Rhyme. Welcome in. Oh, Holly, that's so sweet of you. And if you are on Twitch or YT and you would like to vote for one of these stories, let us know. We have lots of porch bells over here that are sweet, and they are volunteering to cast votes for you guys, including Justin and Holly. Hi, Spooky Cabins. Time for a hammock. Curl on up. Plop in. This is close. Everybody's very close to tied. Like the Djinn, La Lechuza, and Yule Hunger are like neck and neck, you guys. Who's it gonna be? Oh, now it's the Djinn versus Yule Hunger. Right, Eilish? It's like horse races. It's like, and he's in the lead. Oh, who's the winner? And the winner is... the Djinn. That was 2 votes away. 2 votes, Michelle. Yeah, Holly, 2 votes. That was close. That is exciting, right, Eilish? I love these like multi-story polls. I'm so glad I figured out how to do these because we used to just do 2 stories. These are way more exciting because you can like watch, you know, it's fun. That's what I thought, James. 2 votes is the closest it's ever been. It was a nail biter, Sherry. Not a knee slamper, but a nail biter. Oh, all right, guys. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second and I'll pull up the Djinn. Also, hi, Rich. Also, if you guys could do me a big favor while I'm pulling up the next story. Exactly like a horse race, right, Archangelo? If you guys could hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs and it helps us grow this beautiful porch. Also sharing to your story and sharing with your friends. Archangela, thank you for the cute capybara. Also, thanks, Spooky Cabins. Also, throughout the night, you can undo it and redo it, like a unpost repost thing. That does just kind of refresh the algorithm and it helps a lot. So when I continue to ask, please don't get annoyed with me. It just helps as a reminder and it truly helps on my end when you guys do it. You guys are very popular. And when you guys do that for me, it shows me on this end the stat numbers and it jumps. You guys clearly have a lot of friends. So it really does help us grow this porch and I appreciate you guys. Am I in Jersey? No, Vanessa. I would love to be. I've actually never been. But Tom's River sounds really cool and fun. Is that like anywhere near Mystic River? Wait, Mystic River's in Rhode Island, right? Now, I've never been to really a lot of those places, but I am in Ohio. So I'm not that far. Not that far. It's like an 8-hour drive to Jersey. Wait, Justin, what did you say? My friends and my pooter. Do you mean computer? Okay, thanks, Spooky Cabin. I knew you weren't annoyed. Oh, Mary, thanks. Goatman, Mothman, Deer Woman, all have what in common? Devin, the porch look. Holly, you're so cute. Last night I called her Goat Woman. I don't know what the hell that, like, I don't even know how that happened. I didn't even notice until someone in the chat said it. I didn't even notice. I was like, what? Yeah, exactly, Mackenzie. I'm like, well, yeah, somebody pointed out, they're like, did you just say Goat Woman? It was getting late. Thank you, C. I was like, yeah, exactly. Bee of dust. What's next? Moth goat. That's what I was like, all right, y'all, I need to go to bed. All right, quick swig, and I'll be right back with the Djinn story. Yeah, right, Michelle? Yes, I also love how autocorrect always changes him to Boatman. Like, what's next? Moth finger? Like, moth nightcrawler? I mean, way to go, Holly. By the way, a lot of you guys have probably not heard this before because I've only read this live a couple times, I think. I don't think it really gets requested or wins much. So a lot of you guys will probably not recognize this because I don't think I've read it very many times. I agree, Maureen. I had to extend this story. I had to put it off and push it back because they were so interesting that I had to do more research because I didn't really understand. What do you mean, Deborah? I write a new story every week. I literally premiere a new one every week. Vanessa, you don't like it. You're scared. Thank you, Kenneth. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the wind that knew my name. Long before the modern world tried to categorize everything as real or unreal, science or superstition, there were cultures that accepted something far more complicated. That not everything unseen is imaginary, and not everything unknown is dangerous. In Islamic tradition, there exists a class of beings known as the jinn. Often spelled D-J-I-N-N in English, they are not ghosts, and they are not demons in the simplified sense often portrayed in Western media. They are not myths in the way most people think of myths. In Islamic theology, the jinn are considered a separate creation entirely. Humans, according to tradition, were created from clay, angels from light, but the jinn were created from what is described as smokeless fire. And yes, Kenneth, I'm glad you stuck around. This idea has fascinated scholars for centuries because it suggests something that exists, but does not behave like matter in the way we understand it. They are said to live in a world that exists alongside of ours. Not beneath it, not above it, but overlapping. Intersecting in ways that we rarely notice. And like humans, the jinn are believed to have free will. And that detail matters the most, because that means they are not inherently good or evil. They can be kind and they can be cruel. They can be curious, indifferent, mischievous, protective, or something that doesn't fit neatly into any human category at all. Many Islamic traditions describe them as beings that inhabit empty or overlooked places. Deserts, ruins, crossroads, thresholds, spaces between things. They are often associated with sudden movements of air, unexplained sounds, objects shifting when no one is there. What makes the idea of the jinn even more interesting is how closely it mirrors other folklore traditions from around the world. In Ireland, the Ishi are said to exist alongside humanity, unseen but present, capable of interacting when they choose. In Japan, the yokai are known for their unpredictable behavior, sometimes helpful, sometimes mischievous, often misunderstood. And in parts of Africa and the Caribbean, spirits tied to nature and are believed to interact with humans in similarly complex ways. In European folklore, trickster entities appear again and again. Not purely malicious, but not purely benevolent, deeply curious about the human world. The pattern repeats across cultures that never directly influenced each other. Different names, different descriptions, but the same underlying idea. That something exists alongside us. Something intelligent, something aware, and something that doesn't always follow the same rules that we do, but that doesn't mean they are bad. I had read about the jinn long before the night I encountered something that I still struggle to explain. Like most people, I found the concept interesting but distant. Something tied to a specific cultural framework. Something that I respected, but I didn't expect to experience. And that changed the night I stayed in a desert town where the wind never fully stops. The town sat on the edge of a wide stretch of open desert. The kind of place where buildings seem temporary compared to the landscape around them. Low structures, flat roofs, sand pressing against everything. Even during the day, The air carried a constant, low wind that moved through the streets like a slow breath. At night, that wind became more noticeable. It filled the quiet, moved along the walls, slipped through cracks in doors and windows. I had rented a small room above a closed shop on the edge of town. Simple space, one bed, one window, a narrow hallway leading down to the street. It was quiet, and the first thing I noticed that there wasn't anything dramatic. Just the way the air moved inside the room when the window was closed. The door was shut, but the curtain near the window kept shifting slightly, as if a breeze passed through the space. At first I ignored it. Old buildings do that. There's drafts, air finds way in. But the movement wasn't random. It came in patterns. A slow push, then stillness, then another push, like breathing. I sat on the edge of the bed watching it, trying to convince myself it was normal. Then the air changed direction. Instead of moving toward the window, it shifted toward me. Subtle but unmistakable. The curtain moved inward, the fabric pulling slightly into the room, toward where I was sitting. That was the first moment something didn't feel right. There was a subtle shift in presence. I stood up slowly and the air stilled immediately and the curtain fell back into place. Then the room went completely silent. I told myself I was just imagining it. Travel fatigue, I've had a long day. But then I stepped into the hallway, and the air moved again. The hallway was narrow with a single dim light at the far end. As soon as I stepped out of the room, I felt the same current of air pass by me. Like something had moved past my shoulder. I turned instinctively, but the hallway was empty. I walked slowly toward the stairs, each step echoing softly in the quiet building. Halfway down the hall, I felt it again. A shift in the air. And that was when I noticed something else. The wind outside had stopped completely. The silence pressed in around the building, and yet, inside the hallway, something was still moving. I didn't run. There wasn't any sudden fear, just a growing awareness that I wasn't alone. That something else was sharing the space with me. Something that I couldn't see. The night air was still, and the desert stretched out beyond the edge of town, quiet and unmoving under the stars. For a moment, everything felt completely normal again, but then the wind returned. But it didn't come from the open desert. It came from behind me, from inside the building. A soft current of air that moved past me and out into the street. And then it stopped as if it had reached a boundary, I turned slowly and the doorway behind me stood open, dark and empty. The air felt different and charged in a way that's hard to describe. Not threatening, just present. And that's when something shifted in my understanding. Because nothing about the experience felt hostile. There was no aggression. No attempt to frighten me, and no escalation. It was just movement, observation, curiosity. The thought came to me then, not as fear, but as recognition. The stories that I had read about the jinn, beings made of something unseen, something that moves through the air, something that exists alongside us without needing to reveal itself. I stood there for a long time. The doorway behind me, the silent desert ahead. Eventually, I went back up to the room and the air inside was still again. The curtain didn't move, the hallway was quiet, and everything looked exactly as it had before. There was only one small detail that had changed. On the surface of the desk near the window, there had been a thin layer of dust. And when I first arrived, it had been completely undisturbed, but now, faint lines had been traced across it. Not random marks, not scratches. Curved shapes, almost like writing. I didn't recognize the characters. I never found translation for those markings, and I never saw anything again that I could clearly explain as the same presence. But the experience changed the way I think about things that exist just outside of my understanding. Because whatever shared that space with me that night, it didn't feel like something dangerous. It felt like something curious, something that noticed me the same way that I had noticed it. And ever since then, I've had a hard time accepting the idea that everything unknown is evil or should be feared. Because sometimes the only thing separating fear from understanding is the moment you realize you were never the only one observing the situation. Sometimes you were the one being observed all along. And that's the tale of the wind that knew my name. And thank you, Vanessa and Kenneth. Are You Afraid of the Dark was the inspiration for my channel, and I try very hard to keep that nostalgic vibe alive for adults. So I'm so glad that that's what you guys picked up on. That makes my heart really happy. Oh my god, Jess, thank you for Jungle Blitzy. He's so cute. My god, I love him. He's so cute. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all these stories myself, so if you like them, you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel. there is a playlist called Bedtime Stories where you can hit shuffle, play all, and listen to them all night long or anytime you would like. They also are available on all of the podcast streaming sites, so if you just look for Porch Lore, you will find me. Also, all of the links are in my bio. And thank you to those of you who have placed merch orders this evening. I really appreciate it. I put a lot of love and effort into the merch, and I love that you guys are loving it. So, if you haven't checked it out, it is on the banner right here that is for some reason not moving. There we go. It's on the peach banner, and the link is also in my bio. Thank you, Justin. Hi, cats. How you doing? Oh my God. Thank you, Viola, and thank you, Cats and Coffee, for the capybara swim. Every time I see that, I'm not even kidding. I just want to like dive in there. I just want to swim with them. I just want to swim with them so badly because they're literally my favorite animal. And the fact that there's gifts of them makes me feel like a little kid because I've been obsessed with capybaras since I was a little girl. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to swim with one so badly. Like, what a dream to like splash around with one. They're so cute. Okay, guys, welcome in. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. My stories are not super scary, they are spooky, like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, So Weird, Twilight Zone style. Just a little spook, just a little whoa type of thing. And I hope you guys enjoy them. And welcome to all the new Porch Pals we have in here this evening. I'm going to set up the next poll for us to vote for the next story, and I will be right back. Welcome to the porch. And yes, Laura, I did. Okay, guys, I have the next poll ready. And this one's going to be the battle of the ladies that are pissed. Oh, I'm so glad, Viola. This is the ladies that are pissed poll, okay? And we have... Oh, hi, Lily. Hi, Dawn. We have the Deer Woman of Oklahoma. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Puerto Rican Shorty. We have Spearfinger. We have the Selkies. We have Hug and Molly. And we have the Greenbrier Ghost. All of these ladies are pissed. So, who's it gonna be? The Deer Woman of Oklahoma, Spearfinger, the Selkies, Hug and Molly, or the Greenbrier Ghost? Let's see who it's gonna be. Ooh, Sparkle Tree, that's so scary and cool. And you can vote in the top left-hand corner. You can vote up to 50 times a piece, and you can vote for more than one story. Okay, Holly, Sparkle Tree would like Greenbrier Ghost. Yeah, Reverend, pissed. Michelle, that was so cute. And Holly, do you have another request? Feel free to send it. Average C said, I put a beanbag chair in one of the hammocks and I'm balancing on top of it. Yeah, Michelle is so cute, isn't she, Cats? Yeah, I know, I agree. Okay, where's that comment? No, Winter Moon, that's how I actually talk. Are you? That's how I actually talk. That's my real accent. I just have non-regional diction training because I used to be a news reporter. But my accent comes out, and they always tease me because it comes out when I get pissed. And that's why I say it like that, because I actually say pissed. I'm like, I don't know, but she was pissed. So that is how I talk too. I am one of you, Winter Moon, don't worry. I just hide it well. Until certain times when I don't. Why can't I find Average C's comment? Can someone help me find Average C's hilarious comment about the hammock with the beanbag chair? Can someone pin that? Oh, there we go. Just imagining this, hell, it cracks me up. You have a Minnesota accent that comes out because you lived in St. Paul. Aw. Yeah, it's so funny. We've had this talk before, Winter Moon, but I was a news reporter for a national show, so I took non-regional diction training because they told me like no one would hire me with my accent. And so I have like no accent now, but certain times it comes out. Like, especially certain words. Like I say hostile. And like I don't know how other people say it. I already forgot what you guys told me how you say it. Like how do you guys say it again? Like I say hostile. And like I just say little things that give me away, like, well, that was a hoot. I also slap my knee when I laugh. And apparently that's something that gives me away, like a knee slapper. And the last story of the night that we do, I base in my home state of North Carolina, and I do the waitress's accent with my actual accent. I do, Winter Moon. So the last story of the night, I actually will use my old accent for the waitress. But yeah, hoot and a holler. We'll be like, I don't know why you're hollering, but you need to relax. You need to chill the fuck out. But like certain things, like I still say do what to people and then I catch myself. Like if I need somebody to repeat something, I'll be like, do what? And I also tell people to go and get. Go on, get. Oh, thanks, Kat. Us? What, us? How do you say us? Go and get. And like I say full and all. And I feel like people who say foil, I feel like that sounds fake. Foil. Oil. Foil. Foil. That's how your aunt from North Carolina says it? What, us? How do you say it? I say roof. I actually do say roof. It's full. Yeah. Full. But people who say oil, I'm like, oil. Tin foil. Happy anniversary, crazy butterfly. And somebody said, what part of North Carolina? The Piedmont Triad. The foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. The Piedmont Triad. Is Michelle here? Yes, she was. Let's look. Yep, she's here. She sure is. She's right there. Oh, you're from Raleigh. Nice. Vanessa, what do you say no thank you to the storm? Taking attendance. Oh yeah, Larissa, for sure. But people in California don't think they have an accent, and they do. Because I lived there for 7 years, and I definitely have part of my accent is definitely from there. Like I live all of my 20s there, and certain things that I say definitely also sound like they're from there. Thank you, Bubs. I appreciate that. Oh, God, Suzanne, you do? Oh, no. Suzanne, you say Warsh? Why? Why? Suzanne. Well, and I also say things like, well, shoot. Well, shoot. I didn't know. And dang. And those are like absolutely, apparently not things. What was the one? Oh, and I always say quick swig. I'm going to take a quick swig. And everybody thought I was talking about moonshine. And I was like, is that the only time you... So apparently that's Appalachia, because apparently people have only heard the word swig in association with moonshine. I didn't know that. That's just what I say for taking a drink. And I take a swig. What's a swig, Deborah? A swig. Thank you, Bubs. I take a quick swig. Like a drink. Yeah. A swig, yeah, is anything. But I didn't realize that everybody else associates that with moonshine. Me too, Michelle. Until I started doing the show, and I had numerous people say it sounds to them like they would have assumed moonshine. Deborah, what do you say? You don't say swig? What do you call it? Kim says swig on a daily basis. Oh, she says, but I'm from Arkansas and that'll do it. Suzanne, oh, Warsh, it definitely has to come from like Oklahoma, Kansas, I would say. You know what? I say, honestly, I say whatever I feel like saying when it comes to that. I've said all of 3 of those before. So I don't even really have I usually probably just, it depends on where I am and who I'm asking. But I'll usually just ask for the actual thing. Like, can I have a Coca-Cola? Or 7-Up? I don't usually... Oh, you say swig of milk, Sparkles? Okay, good. So, yeah. Kendi! Oh my God, Kendi, where have you been? I missed you. It's funny now, I will say it. Wait, Deborah, what do you say? Where do you live? You don't say swig? Oh, you just say a drink? Winter Moon said, wash the winder. Yeah, that's what Suzanne says. In North Carolina, they call everything a Coke. They're like, can I get you Coke? I only have Mountain Dew. I'm like, But, I mean, they also call winter hats toboggans, okay? And like another funny one, I call my purse my pocketbook. But I stopped doing that now because I got clowned so much for it that I don't really say that anymore, but I used to for quite a long time. And I used to call the shopping cart a buggy. Hand me that, get me a buggy. And I don't say that anymore either. I say cart. Yeah, buggy. You like it when people say buggy? Yeah. Kim said it is a buggy. Yeah. Avril, what? Avril, what? Avril, where do you live? Whoville? What? Council Pop. How did I come up with the sounds? I just went, I'm just kidding. Council Pop is sending me. Bubs said, but it matches so perfect. I started with and then I added in a theremin, which is that noise right there. That's called a theremin. Look it up. You know, the Beach Boys were the first people to use a theremin on a hit track in the song Good Vibrations, because a theremin is actually played by vibrational frequencies. Yes, I am a nerd. Okay. Thank you, Kendi. Give it a goog. Theremins are awesome. Check out how they're played. Your mind will be blown. Anyway, so I knew I had to have a theremin. Theremin's required. That's the theremin right there. That noise. Also, Lil Wayne used to love, like the song with Lil Wayne and CJ. Are you in here? Roll up the choppers like it's December 31st. That intro with the aliens, that's a theremin. And that was kind of what I wanted to go with the Lil Wayne John vibe. I knew you did, Kimberly. I knew you did. Because of course I had wanted to see how it was played, and I looked it up on YT. But at the beginning of the Lil Wayne song John with Rick Ross, there's a theremin in that one too when he talks about being an alien. And dun, 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 dun. They're so cool, Kim, right? They're played off frequency vibrate. I mean, they're just so cool. So, Lil Wayne, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I listened to a lot of rap, and I love Lil Wayne, and I still listen to the old Lil Wayne, and I was listening to that song one day with him and Rick Ross, and it was like, roll up the choppers like this, and I was like, I heard the intro, and I was like, that theremin, oh my god, that theremin, and I was like, I forgot about that thing, and I put it in my first story. If you go all the way back on my YT page, one of my first unexplained stories was about Valiant Thor, the alien that stayed in the Pentagon for 3 years, and I used basically the Lil Wayne sample theremin for the whole song, and then eventually now I have my own music, but that was where I got the inspiration at the beginning, was the Lil Wayne. He was this, yeah. And Lil Wayne with Rick Ross, stop it. I'm not a star, somebody lied. CJ, where have you been? I was talking about John and the theremin at the beginning, and the roll up the choppers like it's December 31st. Roll up the hopper and hit where it hurts. If I die today, remember me like John Lennon, buried in Louis. I'm talking all brown linen. We call them hoodies. What do you call them, Justin? Oh, you know what? Don't British people call them jumpers? And they're like, that's a nice jumper. Me too. That's one of my favorite rap songs, Kim. That's one of my favorite rap songs of all time. That song is the theremin at the beginning had me in a chokehold. And I was like, all right, they started with the theremin and alien shit. They can do whatever they want. And they did. And remember, Rick Ross was in a wheelchair with a box of shoes in his lap. Please tell me someone remembers that video. Anyway, okay. So the winner was Hug and Molly. We got so distracted. Okay, good night, CJ. Sweet dreams. Okay, Hug and Molly. I'm actually shocked. Are you guys shocked? I'm shocked that Hug and Molly's the winner. I know, she won, James. Like, holy moly. Oh, don't worry, sunshine. It always takes a turn, especially on Fridays. Hi, Jade. You haven't heard it yet? Well, here we go, you guys. This is James's favorite. And I'll be right back with the tale of Hug and Molly. Hey, James, I'm going to use the new Hug and Molly. I'm going to use the new image of her, okay? Yes, because James asked me for a print of this for the merch of a print. And Hug and Molly is one of my older stories. And it was very hard for me to stretch the picture I'd made. It was actually from a video because my YT page, like my YT is videos. They like she moves in the video over there. So I like took a screen grab of her for the TT live. But that's why she's so close to the screen. It's like the crappiest quality one. And it's not high quality enough for a print. And so I told him, like, this is a screen grab of a video. I'm going to have to make a whole new one for the print. And she ended up really cool. So we're going to use her. You guys like her? Yeah, you guys like her? Okay, good. She's pretty, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's so much better, right, Kim? The old one was a screen grab, really bad. It wasn't the right dimensions for this TikTok and anything. So, because it came from a horizontal video, it was very hard to screen grab. So now, and that was when I was still learning this stuff. Now I know a little bit more to make things better looking, but Huggin' Molly was one of the first. So her picture was very bad. And so I could not turn it into a print. And luckily, James asked me to turn it into a print. So I was like, you know what? She's going to have to get a redo. And so she is actually more true to the story than the one that I was using before. So I thought, oh, I'm glad you love it. And look, here comes her music. Perfect timing. Yeah, Spooky, she is pissed. She's actually just really sad. She's like inconsolably sorrowful. Plus the setting now matches, Alabama. Looks more like Alabama. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Haint of Huggin' Molly. And yes, James, of course that's okay. I agree, Sherry. Kim, wait till you see Impusa. Thank you, Mackenzie. Love you too, Bubs. Inconsolably sorrowful. I know that's not mouth. Why am I like this, Kendi? Why is that the way I describe? Immediately off the dome, I'm like, well, she's like inconsolably sorrowful. Like, who says those things? Why do I talk like that? Because I'm 700 years old. I've traveled all over the South, chasing whispers and shadows. Some turn out to be the wind through cypress trees or a startled owl. Yeah, Kim. Kim. But every once in a while, I stumble into something that I can't just laugh off once the sun comes up. Yes, Justin. This story takes place in Abbeville, Alabama. A place you might not notice on the map unless you're already looking for trouble or trying to avoid it. Abbeville isn't big, but it's old. Settled in the early 1800s, it still wears the past like a wool coat in the summer. Heavy and soaked through with memory. People there still speak in slow drawls, and you can get a plate of catfish bigger than your head for under $10. But what really drew me to Abbeville was a local legend that stuck around for over 100 years. The tale of Huggin' Molly. Now, depending on who you ask, Molly's either a grieving mother, a A witch who lost her child, or some kind of cryptid that stalks the streets after dark. But everyone agrees on two things. She's tall, like 7 feet tall. And she wraps you in a death grip hug so tight, it knocks the breath out of you. She doesn't kill you, but you'll remember her for the rest of your life. Hi, Charlotte. Local kids are warned that if they stay out past sundown, Hug and Molly might grab them up and scream in their ear. I'd heard the story years ago and always figured it was one of those moral tales meant to scare kids into getting home by supper. But I never forgot it. And last October, while tracing old Civil War routes through southern Alabama, I decided to make a stop in Abbeville and see if the place had anything left of the legend. I pulled into town just before sunset. The streets were quiet, too quiet for a Friday night. Hi, April, love ya. Downtown was a cluster of old brick buildings and faded murals that looked like they hadn't been touched since the 1940s. I parked near the library, a gorgeous old building that still had gas lanterns flickering out front. And I walked toward the courthouse square. I got lucky. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Viola. I got lucky, and a local historian named Bobby was closing up the museum and offered me a private look inside. The museum itself was one room, barely big enough to turn around in without knocking over a display. There were Civil War artifacts, some dusty family Bibles, and a glass case dedicated entirely to Hug and Molly. The case held newspaper clippings, a child's bonnet, and a charcoal sketch from 1914 that made the hair on my arm stand up. It showed a towering woman in white. Her mouth was wide open, almost smiling, but in a way that made you feel like smiling back would be a mistake. I know, April, she won. April's like, hold on, I'm not leaving yet, hold on. Bobby told me the sketch was done by a boy named Samuel Gaines, who claimed he saw her one Halloween night, and after, he never spoke again. He died in a sanitarium up in Montgomery in 1938. Bobby said the story always resurfaces when the weather turns cool and the air smells like smoke. Now, I've heard my fair share of ghost stories, and I've had a few strange experiences that have kept me awake at night. But I didn't expect to feel anything in Abbeville. But something about that drawing, about the cold stillness inside the museum, made me decide to stay the night and see if I could walk the route that people claimed Molly used to follow. Thank you for your first gift ever. According to the locals, she favored Kirtland Street, right near the old carriage trail that once led out of town into the woods. I checked into a little roadside inn and I waited for the clock to strike midnight. It was the kind of night where the fog doesn't roll in, it seeps in. Everything felt damp and muffled. I walked slowly, inadequate flashlight in hand, down Kirkland Street. The houses were spaced wide apart, dark and shuttered. It was the kind of quiet that makes you wonder if anyone else even lives in the whole town. And then I heard it. Not footsteps, something softer, like cloth, dragging across pavement. I turned, and I turned off my inadequate flashlight and I stood still. My ears strained as I held my breath. The sound came again, but this time closer. Not in front of me, but behind me. I turned and I saw nothing. Just as I finally exhaled, there came a strange pressure, like the air itself grew heavy and charged. My chest tightened and suddenly I felt ice cold. Not the kind that creeps up your arms, but the kind that shoots straight through your ribs. I looked up, and there she was. A silhouette, 7 feet tall at least. Her head tilted just slightly, and she took a step toward me. I couldn't move. I should have screamed, I should have run, but all I could do was stand there while she came closer. Her arms opened wide, not quickly, but in a slow, almost loving way. And then she was around me. I didn't feel hands, I felt pressure, like being vacuum sealed into a memory I didn't want. It was like being hugged by grief itself. Dense, hollow, and cold as grave soil. And then just beside my ear, she screamed. Not a word, not a name. Just a pure, mournful wail that blasted straight through me. I dropped to my knees, and the scream faded into the fog. And when I opened my eyes, she was gone. I staggered back to my car. I don't remember unlocking it or the drive back to the inn. I don't remember getting into my room, getting into bed, or falling asleep. I don't really remember anything after she hugged me. I was in some type of haze for the rest of the night. The next morning, I woke up with a nosebleed and my ribs ached like I had been tackled. I went back to the museum and Bobby told me one more story before I left. In 1909, a woman named Molly Langford lost her only child to scarlet fever. They say she went mad with grief and wandered the street at nights for weeks, begging people to let her hold their babies. And when she died, Folks said they could still hear her calling for her son. Others think that Molly's not human at all. Some say she's tied to the land itself, an elemental entity. Whatever she is, I believe she's real, and I can still feel her arms around me sometimes when I dream. So, if you ever find yourself near Henry County, Alabama, especially in October, be careful walking after dark, because Hug and Molly might be looking for someone else to hold tight. And that's the tale of the Haint of Hug and Molly. Thank you so much, Ramen. I love that. Thank you, Glinda. Thank you, Holly. And fun fact, Robin, one of our porch pals here, drives by Abbeville frequently, and she took a picture of this little sign that says "Welcome to Abbeville" a week or two ago, and their town sign says "Welcome to Abbeville, home of Hug and Molly," and it shows her chasing a kid on the sign, and I'm like, I love that. You know, she probably never in a million years thought, oh, thank you, Poodle. That is sad. Most of my ghost stories are sad, but Molly never in a million years would have thought that she'd be the town's claim to fame. Like their sign says, "Welcome to Abbeville, home of Hug and Molly." Like, what a badass ghost, you know? Like, you get it, girl. So anyway, I love that sign. And thank you, Robin, for sharing and driving through Abbeville and sharing the sign with us on Discord. Hi, V. So if you want to join our Discord, the link's in my bio, and I'm sure Justin will share it too. But welcome in. If you're new here, hello. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. Hi, April. Welcome in. Hell yeah, Jade. Hi, Angel. Thank you. Welcome in. And guess what? I'm here every night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 1 in the morning. But I do go over usually quite a bit. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock in the back, sit back and watch the shooting stars, and welcome to the porch. We have an amazing community of very cool people here. Also, welcome and hello to those of you who are watching this stream on YT or Twitch as well. Thank you for being here. And yes, terminally, I write all of these stories myself. And if you'd like to listen to them, they are all recorded and available on my YT channel. There's a playlist called Bedtime Stories, and you can listen to these anytime you want. And I'm going to set up the next poll. Thanks, Kendi. How you doing, cutie? Yeah, welcome into all the new porch pals. Don't forget to give me a follow if you're enjoying yourself. You won't regret it, because I am here. I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system so you can fall asleep. And you will enjoy it here. And I will be right back with the next poll for us to vote for the next story. Be right back. Sounds good, V. Thank you. On the tube of you. Thank you, Winter Moon. I have insomnia too, so I'm really glad I can help fellow insomniacs. Thank you, Avril, for the hand hearts. Sherry, I love that so much. It really is like a sedative. I'm not even kidding. I'm that way too. Like if I really can't sleep, I will literally put myself on and I make myself pass out. Like, and I'm not even kidding. Like it works for me with my own voice. So it's definitely something about the frequency of my voice. Oh my God, that is so cute. Thank you, Kendi. Thank you, Holly. I'm serious. I don't edit with the noise canceling headphones anymore. I had Bose noise canceling, and I don't edit with those anymore. Thank you, Avril, because I was falling asleep while I was editing. I'm not even kidding. And I was like, what is going on? Am I like hypnotized? Am I like putting myself in a trance? Like, why is this happening? And that was like before I started reading them live for people to fall asleep. And I was like, this is making me fall asleep like hardcore. And then a couple of my friends were like, dude, your stories are making me fall asleep. And I'm like, me too. And then I was like, maybe this is the thing. Like, maybe this is a thing. So thank you, Bubs. So I do think it's the frequency of my voice, because animals fall asleep to my voice, babies, pretty much everybody, and I've had a snake fall asleep before on my chest, and so I do think it has something to do with the frequency. And thank you, Justin. And you know what is Nikola Tesla talked about that. And there are certain frequencies that the brain like feel like it levels at and feels very relaxed at. And I feel like my voice might be that. I don't even know how to test what frequency your voice is. Thank you, Jason. I would never even know how to find that out. But that's my theory. That's my theory. And yes, Bubs, I am an aunt. I have been an aunt for a very long time because my brother's a lot older than me. So I've been an aunt since I was like 19. And I've been a furry animal mom my whole entire life. Literally since I was 4 years old. All right, be right back with the poll. And thank you, Jason. I'm so glad. Yeah, being an aunt is awesome. No, I'm not a furry, Abby. Nope, can't say I am. But I have fur babies. Hi, Joanne. Like I'm obsessed with my cat. He's literally like, I'm so in love with him. I'm so obsessed with him. Me too, Abby. Me too. I've actually been through natural disasters with my cats and like straight up didn't even think twice to like they're with me, that no matter what, like I'll just die. Like literally, I haven't put it up yet, Avril. I'm still typing it out. I have to type out each one myself and it just takes a minute. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. Oh, hi, Maddie. Thank you. Welcome in. Welcome to the porch. All right, the next poll is ready. We have the Fresno night crawlers, aka the creepy pajama pant silk stockings. Oh, thank you, Avril. That is so kind. Hi, AJ. And you know what's so funny is I've been told that my whole life. So I finally was like, maybe I should probably tell some stories. Since I am literally a professional storyteller, I was like, nah, that's probably a good idea. So thank you so much. Really, Diona? Yeah. If you have a voice like that, it's a thing. It's a thing. All right, so we have the Fresno Nightcrawler Creepy Pants. We have the Camper Van. Thanks, Bubs. We have Magnolia House. We have the Librarian. And we have Sasquatch Stalker. Fresno Nightcrawlers features Suzanne, and Magnolia House features Kim. And here you go, ready. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box. And you can vote up to 50 times a person, and you can vote for more than one story. Thank you for being here, Deborah. And also, Abby, I didn't know that either. I mean, I knew there's frequencies for sleep, like sound frequencies for the different things, but I guess it makes sense. Any sound could be right if it reaches that frequency. But I never really knew it until everybody passes out to my voice my whole life. Till I found out I was a siren. Hell yeah, spooky bestie. See, Abby, it works. Like, literally, I make myself fall asleep. If I listen with like noise canceling headphones to myself, I'm like out. And so there's definitely something to it. I need to look into how you can like find out frequencies. Like, how would I find out the frequency of my voice? Thank you, Bubs. But don't tell everybody that it's a secret. If anybody knows how to measure the frequency of a voice, that would be great. You're 35 and you sound like a 12-year-old. You get asked to put... You know what's so funny too is I've literally sounded like this since I was like 12. So I've always had like my voice didn't really match myself when I was a kid. The spooky July love. Mary, I love you. A speech therapist could tell me. Oh, the winner is... Whoa, I dropped the phone. The winner is the Librarian. Oh, we haven't read this one in a while. There are apps. Okay, Deborah, I'll have to look into it. Okay, Lily, sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. A pitch analyzer app? Okay, thanks, Michelle. I need to check it out. Oh, you are, Bubs? Wait, who said they were 35? It sounds like a 12-year-old. Holly, you said you're 35 and you sound like a 12-year-old. That's so funny. Yeah, V, it's not even, you're not kidding. That's why I said my whole life. I used to get like so mad at my boyfriends and stuff because we'd be like lounging on the couch together, or like whatever, like having a conversation, and like they always fall asleep. And I'm like, what? And I still was like, am I really that boring? Like, what is my problem? And like, why do they always fall asleep? And then like, they'd be like, I'm so sorry. I was really listening. Good night, Jade. I love you. Yeah. And I'd be like, get pissed. And I remember this one guy always fell asleep. And I'd be like, you know what? I'm not even. So I told him I'd be like stubborn, like not even gonna talk to you at night anymore because like every time you fall asleep and like, or he'd do like the bobbing head and try to pretend he was like, oh, I'm still listening. I'm like, dude, are you serious? And that happens to me that used to happen to me so much. I'm like, maybe now I look back and I'm like, See, we have all different ages in here. All different ages. Oh, sweet. That's cool, Beefy. Yeah, exactly, Holly. Thank you, Deborah. All right, I'll be right back with the librarian. And if you guys could do me a big favor while I'm setting up the librarian, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner? And there is a yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And it puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. It helps us get new people in. My little Di, you said you never finish a story, you always fall asleep. Oh, I'm so glad, Poodle. Yeah, see, everybody's got totally different ages. What'd you say, Kim, about your... Hold on. You couldn't pin your comment? That's annoying. Which one? They haven't done that to you in a while. I'm about to put you to sleep, Shane. Yeah, a lot of times people fall asleep in the chat. Like, they actually started asking me. That's why now the live recordings are available as soon as it's over on my YT channel, because people wanted to listen to the chats too, because they're like, dude, it's all of it helps me fall asleep. So I was like, okay. You know what's funny, Pink? It depends on this. Like, I think in the daytime, it's different because I've listened to them like driving and I didn't get sleepy. So I think it just depends on like, you know, if it's night and if you need sleep, etc. Okay, you guys, I'll be right back with the librarian. Jigglypuff? Wait, what's the Jigglypuff? What is that? I'm a real life Jigglypuff? What does that mean? I need to look that up. What's a Jigglypuff? Sounds really cute. Is that a Pokemon? I don't know anything about Pokemon. Oh, the Pokemon that sends people to sleep? That's so cute. There's a Pokemon that sends people to sleep? Oh, I love that. Jigglypuff? Okay. I am down to be a little Pokemon named Jigglypuff that puts people to sleep. You listen on your way to work, Michelle? Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, it's relaxing. Yep. Because I've listened to it during the day when I'm running errands and stuff, and it's relaxing. It doesn't make me fall asleep. So I think it's just if you're in the setting ready to go to sleep, you know? I just learned a new Pokemon name. And gets mad when they go to sleep and draws on their face with a marker. Wait, he does? Wait, Jigglypuff puts them to sleep and then draws on their faces? Well, that's rude. I only used to antique people. And if any of y'all know what that means, you'll find that funny. You'll find that funny. And here I am talking about how I get upset when people fall asleep when I'm talking to them. Okay, maybe I am that Pokemon. I haven't, Shane. I'm not really into true crime. But if I got a paying job to do it, I would absolutely. Jigglypuff sings and then her song puts you to sleep and then she gets pissed. Okay, so that's me. Yeah, I would love to, Shane. I would love to do that professionally. That's my dream, is to narrate like books. Okay, so maybe I am Jigglypuff. Shane, I've been waiting for the aliens to come back and get me for like 700 years. So I would say I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked. Like, I honestly thought they got lost or forgot about me. So I'm excited. I'm gonna have a talk with them. We're gonna have a talk about leaving me here so long, but I'm excited. And we are, Holly. We are. Good night, Holly. Me too, Michelle. I've already arranged that I can bring Merlin with me, so we're good to go. Taking off. Hence, while the Porch Pals have UFOs in our names, in case you guys noticed. And if you'd like to, feel free. But a lot of us put a little UFO in our name. Not because we want the aliens to come get us, just because we like unexplained weird stuff. And it's a fun way to spot each other in the chat at other lives. I'm like, oh, hey Porch Pal. Did you, Justin? That's cute. I had a huge Albert Einstein pillow when I was a kid. And I feel like saying that out loud, that says a lot. That says a lot about me. Ooh, yeah, Holly. Oh, no, not different apps, Glinda. We just mean like in this app, when you go into other lives, we like see each other. And I'm like, oh, hey. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the librarian who wasn't there. And Bubs, I totally understand. I just joined TikTok. It'll be a year in June, and I never in a million years thought I would either. And now I'm hosting them. But I'll tell you what, when you find your people, you realize, oh my God, I get along with really cool people all over the world. And I never thought I could like I talk to these people every day more than like the people who are actually in my life, which is crazy because like I have a normal life, but there's something about this community and the connections we have in here that is really, really special. And so welcome, Bubs. And I love how you said you didn't think you would ever do this, because I was literally the same way. I never in a million years thought I would. And then I went into a couple, I was like, wait a minute, this is really fun. So I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm outgoing too, but this whole realm was kind of like not really my thing. I totally get it. So I'm so glad I ended up on your FYP, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the porch. Don't forget to follow me. So if you fall off the porch, you can find us again. And we are family at this point. And we're here. I'm here every single night, and we hang out here and chill every night. So, and by the end of the night, half of y'all are asleep usually, but that makes me happy. That makes my heart happy. John said, once you join the porch, you never leave. It's like the Hotel California. We're not a cult, I swear. We're not a cult. We just all have matching clothes, and we all do it all the same things. I'm just kidding. We all. Speaking of matching clothes, if you guys want some, I do have cute merch for all the Porch Pals. Check it out. It's on the banner, and it's in my links in my bio. All right. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the librarian who wasn't there. You're kind of right, lovely. It was supposed to be temporary. Just a little side job while I figured things out. I had moved to Concord, Massachusetts after my lease ran out. And I had finally accepted that my job in the city just wasn't working out. I needed space, quiet, a chance to reset. I figured taking a part-time position at the town library would be the perfect way to keep busy while I regrouped. The town had been frequented by the likes of Thoreau and Emerson, so I was honored to land the job at such a historical library. The library itself was older than most buildings downtown. One of those carved stone places with ivy on the walls and stained glass windows that always looked dusty, no matter how sunny the day was. It had this scent that every library seems to carry. Paper, mildew, and something like dried leaves. But there was something else in this one. Something that I couldn't name. From the start, the locals avoided talking about it. When I told the guy at the bakery that I was working at the library, he paused. And then he said something about watching the clock. Another woman told me not to work late, especially on the second floor. I assumed it was all small town superstition. Every place has its ghost stories. But I did notice one thing right away. The library didn't have any computers. No card scanners, no barcodes, no digital catalog. Instead, everything was logged in a massive leather-bound ledger. The kind that looked like it belonged to a medieval monastery. Patrons wrote their names, the titles they were checking out, and the date all by hand. No one questioned it. They just did it. I started working the afternoon shift with another part-timer named Marie. She was older with silver hair pinned tightly at the nape of her neck, and a voice so quiet it was hard to tell when she was talking to you or just to herself. She always left at 5, no matter what. One evening, I stayed late on accident. I lost track of time, shelving old newspapers in the history section on the second floor. The light up there was terrible, yellowish and flickering, and the windows were so grimy they barely let in daylight. By the time I realized how late it had gotten, the sun was already gone. I figured I'd just close up by myself, easy enough. Except, when I came back down, the front door was locked from the inside, and I hadn't done it. The key was still in the drawer beneath the front desk, but the door wouldn't budge. Not even when I turned the knob and pushed with my shoulder. It felt like something was holding it shut from the outside. I tried the side door, same result. The air had gone cold, unnaturally so. And I noticed for the first time that the library had no central heating. No visible vents, just 3 old wall radiators that never actually warmed up. And that's when I heard the cough. It echoed from upstairs, dry and raspy, like someone clearing their throat for the 100th time. I called out thinking maybe someone else had gotten stuck inside too, but no one answered. The lights on the second floor flickered, and then they went out. I waited a moment listening, but nothing. No footsteps, no whisper of clothing, no shuffle of movement. Just silence. Still, I made my way back up the creaking stairs. My phone had barely 1 bar of signal, and my inadequate flashlight was too weak to cut through the shadows. I figured I'd just do a quick sweep, make sure no one was up there, and then try the phone line downstairs. The upstairs reading room was colder than the rest of the building. My breath fogged in the air. My breath fogged, and the bookshelves loomed taller somehow. More like barricades now than furniture. And that's when I saw her, sitting in one of the armchairs by the window. A woman. Long skirt, dark shawl, gray hair tied back, eyes hidden in the shadows. At first I thought it was Marie. But this woman wasn't moving. She was just watching. I asked if she needed help. Nothing, not even a blink. I took a cautious step forward, and that's when I saw it. Her reflection in the window behind her didn't match. The woman sitting in the chair wasn't moving, but her reflection was. It was standing closer, leaning forward just slightly as if it was peering at me through the glass. I stepped back and I tripped. By the time I scrambled up from the floor, the chair was empty. I bolted down the stairs, my heart racing. I tried the phone at the desk, but it was a dead line. No dial tone, just static. And that's when the lights went out completely. Pitch black. Except there was one light still on. A soft greenish glow coming from the archive room in the back. I don't know what made me walk toward it. Maybe some twisted sense of curiosity. Or maybe I already knew I wasn't leaving until I saw whatever it wanted me to see. The light was coming from the catalog ledger and it was open. But I hadn't left it that way. I stepped closer and the pages were turning on their own. Slowly, one after another. Until it landed on a page near the very back. The ink was fresh, still glistening. A single name written in looping cursive. My name. I stared at it for a full minute. The date next to it? Not today's, tomorrow's. And beneath that, in smaller handwriting, the word returned. I slammed the book shut, and when I looked up, the lights were back on, and everything seemed normal, except the front door. It was now standing wide open. No wind, no sound. Just the quiet, empty street outside. I grabbed my bag and I left without even locking up. The next day I quit. No explanation, no 2-week notice. I just packed my things and I left Concord behind. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. About the name in the book. About the reflection that didn't match, and most of all, about what returned might actually mean. So I looked up the library online, Nothing. No photos, no recent activity, no staff listing. It was like the place didn't even exist. So just out of curiosity, I checked some Reddit message boards, and there it was. A thread about a haunted library in a small town that no one could quite locate. People claiming to have visited once only to find it vanished the next time they tried. A few even shared drawings of the librarian they remembered seeing. Gray hair, black shawl, no face. One post chilled me more than the others. Someone said they had tried to take a book home, but the ledger wouldn't let them. Their name showed up under a heading called Unreturned. They said now the librarian watches them sleep every night. I never wrote on that thread. I never replied. I didn't want to encourage it. But now, sometimes just before I fall asleep, I hear that dry cough echoing down my hallway. And that's the tale of the librarian who wasn't there. And if you're new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all these stories myself, and if you want to hear them whenever you would like, they are available on my YT channel as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. All of the links are in my bio. I also have lots of cute merch. Feel free to check it out. And for those of you who are regulars, you now know what time it is. It's grilled cheese time. Good night, Cynthia. Sweet dreams. Love ya. And if you are a new porch pal, yes, I write all of these myself, Jalen. And if you are a new porch pal, good night, Diva Deals. We end every live with this story. It is everybody's favorite. Use the beehive sticker. You can. It's everybody's favorite. Oh, thank you, Jalen. It's everybody's favorite story. And no, you didn't miss it. You didn't miss it, Whitney. And so it was getting requested so often, and people didn't want me to end the live until I read it and stuff. So I just kind of jokingly at first started saying I would end the live with it every night. And then it now has become a tradition. It has an entire collection of merch dedicated to this story. There's a bunch of stickers dedicated to the characters in the story, and it is basically everybody's favorite. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and feel free to hit that repost button one more time for tonight. There's a share arrow in the bottom right hand corner and that little yellow circle with the arrows that chase each other. You can undo and redo it if you like. That repost helps us grow the porch. And I'll be right back with the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. And happy go Bucky. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. And if you do like grilled cheese, I would recommend making a grilled cheese sandwich right now. I know it's late, who cares? Because by the end of this story, you will be craving one so intensely that you'll be bummed you didn't make it. So you might as well just make yourself a grilled cheese now. Be right back. Yes, Jalen, we start at 10 p.m. every night, but you can also hear all my stories on my YT channel. All of the live recordings are immediately published over there as soon as it's over. And I also record all of these myself, and I'm like in the video and I say hi. And they're all in a playlist called Bedtime Stories. So you can listen to them anytime you want. And that's how people end up requesting the ones that we vote on every night, is because people get favorites. And yeah, hi P. Watson. Yeah. So if you guys check out Porch Lore on my YT, all of these stories are available over there, and you can listen to them as many times as you want. You can also listen to the lives too, but the stories themselves are available in individual videos. And I premiere a new one every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on my YT channel. We do a live premiere, a live chat. It's fun. You guys get a first listen. And so, yeah, Jalen. Okay. And perfect. I'm also live on YT right now. So, if you go over there, you will see that I am live over there as well. And this Monday story, yes, Winter Moon, this Monday story, thanks Bubs, this Monday story is really going to be a cool one. It's going to be a little different, and it's going to be very interesting. Yep. And Kim and a few of the other spooky bookies are actually going to be in it with me, and I'm very excited. And it is actually based off of a very famous tale that I am trying to correct, basically, by with my theory of what I believe the true story is instead. So it probably isn't going to be, I don't know, hopefully it'll be a popular opinion, but it is definitely not going to be the mainstream story that you're used to hearing about this story. It is one of the most famous stories, and I am going to shake shit up a little bit and tell you guys that I don't believe it, and I think there is a different there's a different version of it, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think. No, spooky bestie, but that's a really good guess. Yeah. Well, and this is the first time I will be actually like defying what the folklore says, and I'll be putting in my own I don't believe it, so I'm going to tell you what I believe it is actually what happened. It's on Monday, so it's a big one. And yes, Justin, Kim will be the first person to appear in more than one story. You are correct. Kim will be the first person to appear in more than one story. I felt like she got kind of screwed because she got a Christmas story. And the Christmas stories don't really get voted on very often when it's not Christmas time. And so I felt like she deserved something besides a Christmas story. Because it just happened to be timing, and I wrote her into a Christmas story. But like, I feel like I love the Magnolia House too, but I feel like yes, Kim, they'll understand. And I am going to mention a few of the other spooky bookies in passing. They will be on the adventure with us, but it's going to be one I'm very proud of. I finished writing it yesterday, and I feel like it's corrective history, and I'm very proud of it. Plus, it has to do with an elemental, you guys. And it is the first time I will actually be mentioning an elemental by specific name in one of my stories. So it's a pretty big deal on Monday. Just an FYI. It's gonna be a good one. Yep, it's going to be my first actual ancient elemental that I mentioned by name, and it's going to be correcting a very famous American folk story. So watch out, guys. It might shake up the spooky folklore world. I'm kidding. There is no spooky folklore world. Venus isn't landlocked. Speaking of Venus, you need to message me your real name. Because I can't, you actually were the one, you and Smurf. I don't even know what to call you guys in it. So you guys right now are not in it but I can still add you in it if you tell me your real names, because I can't be like, well, I guess I could, but people on YT who listen and on Audify and Apple Music and stuff who listen won't understand the jokes. So if I say my friend Smurf and Venus, they're going to be like, what the Michelle, yes, well, kind of. It's about an elemental specifically, a very specific one. AP, oh my God, I miss you so much. Hi, AP. Yes, Winter Moon, I am on all of the podcast streaming sites. Yeah, Michelle, it's going to be a doozy. What's an elemental? Oh, but I could explain that to you on a Witchy Wednesday. It's a long can of worms. That's a huge can of worms. But an elemental is the earth's energy manifests into physical form, basically. Hi. Good morning, AP. I miss you so much. Yeah, Winter Moon. Absolutely. You absolutely can listen while you're driving. You have a friend whose real name is Venus? Okay. Well, I don't even think Venus answered me. Maybe she's like, well, the time has come. They asked me for my real name. Goodbye. Oh, she said I'll DM it. Okay. You're right, Beefy. You're right. We can build it to our own liking. Wait, what did somebody say? Hold on. I'm just catching with I'm not the type of person to stop at roadside. Yeah, which is like not true. Yes, but Devil's Tramping Ground is an elemental. You're correct. But like skinwalkers are elementals. Almost every cryptid, I would say, is pretty much an elemental. The deer woman, the Pukwudgies, the Menehune of Hawaii, the Moon-Eyed people. They're all like basically ancient earth entities, if that makes sense. Like ghosts are not, because they're humans. So like ghosts are totally like ghosts are just like humans that are like, I'm a ghost, I'm trapped, what happened, right? But like I saw it, Venus. Sorry, you didn't get filtered. I saw your comments. You said you DM me. So basically, elementals are like Mothman's probably an elemental. Sasquatch, however, I don't think he's an elemental. I think Bigfoot is just a primate. Sorry, guys. I know that's not a popular opinion, but I don't think he's supernatural. Bigfoot's actually my least favorite cryptid. Don't tell him if he comes in here. And yes, Esmeralda, that's exactly what ghosts sound like. I'm just a human trapped. I'm happy. That's exactly. They're just like, because humans, I don't know, we're just so self-important and like, I don't know. I just don't find ghosts as interesting nearly. I mean, it's still interesting. Don't get me wrong. If I met a ghost, I'd be like, holy shit, I'd want to talk to it. But like, elementals are way more interesting to me. And like the Green Man is an elemental. It goes all the way back to like all of the goddesses. Those are all elementals. Gaia, it's an elemental. We as humans, we have to come up with a way to anthropomorphize things to where we can our brains can actually process it. So we have to give things a human shape, a form, a name, an identity. That's why archangels are like Michael and stuff. Like we have to, but those are all just actually elemental energies. And we like to name them things. And we like to pretend they're like beautiful goddesses with boobs and vines all over their bodies. And like, you know, but like that's the only way people can grasp an idea of a concept of energy actually having an effect on physical matter, but not having a form. And I don't even know if that makes sense. But they basically will present themselves in your mind's eye of however you will accept them. So if you grew up Catholic, you're gonna think you have had contact with the archangels. Because that's how they're gonna appear to you. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And if you live across the world, then you're not going to see the Archangel Michael. You're going to see whatever culture you grew up in. That's how they will present themselves. So that's why these creatures exist all over the world. Different names, a little bit different descriptions, but the same phenomenon because it's not a coincidence. They are the earth elements of the earth. They are the earth energy. Not a popular opinion, but it is what I know to be true. And I'm 700 years old, so you know, hey, take it or leave it. But yes, it's energy. Yep. But like Skinwalker and all those other things, energy and elementals match energy. And they match the energy, not that you pretend to be. They actually match your soul's energy. So even if you pretend to be a good person, but you're like a POS, then you might encounter an elemental and maybe a more scary form or situation. That's also why land that has had massacres and travesties on it is where people see these horrifying things happen all the time, is because it is imprinted on the land, and the energy matches the energy almost as a way to balance, if that makes sense, the frequency and the vibration of that area or of that place or of that person that's around. So it's all about vibration, and I don't even know if that makes any sense. But I hope it does. Anyway, back to the diner. Thank you, Michelle. So like a lot of people are really scared of elementals, but they just match energy. So like if you're a bad person, then yeah, I'd probably be scared. But if you're a good person and a genuine heart, they're amazing. And you can literally get animals to like walk up to you, and you can like get butterflies to land on you, and you can really like vibrate to a point where nature notices, and you can like connect with it. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. It's true. Be right back, quick swig, and then we're ready for the Sycamore Diner. Yes, Grillo, we're out here vibing. We're vibing. Oh, Mackenzie, I'm so glad. I'm glad it makes sense. I'm glad it resonates with some of you guys. Because I feel like to some people who are sitting, they're probably like, what the hell is she? What kind of woo-woo shit is it? Like, me neither, Kim, ever. Me neither. But I've also never met a wild boar, have you? Me too, Kim. This is what I like to talk about on Witchy Wednesdays. No, really, Skrilla, that's been my nickname since I was a kid. I used to play with dagger moth caterpillars, which are like super toxic, like poisonous. And I never knew. They like will stab you with poison. Like they can send you to the hospital. And I didn't know, and I didn't find out till like years later. Like I had pictures of them. They were my pets. And somebody was like, dude, that's like one of the most poisonous caterpillars in the world. Why are you playing with it? And I was like, that was my pet. I had like I'll post it in the Discord for you guys. I have a picture of me with it on my arm, all smiling. And I named them. They were my pets. And they have these giant black things that are daggers that can stick into you and poison you. And you have to go to the hospital. And you know what? I used to pet them. And I'm not shitting you. They never poked me once. And I had no idea. And you know why? Because I was so pure-hearted. I had no fear and I didn't know better. And they were so sweet to me. Isn't that the funniest thing? Witchy Wednesdays. We just talk about stuff like I just was talking about. Crystals, astrology, any kind of fun stuff. On Wednesdays during the daytime. 11 a.m. in the morning. And I'm on camera. And I don't tell stories. Skrilla, yeah. Morton would never. Okay? Never. Never. My little Morty caterpillar. Yeah, we talk about Andrew Jackson this week because everybody wanted me to talk about Andrew Jackson. And I did promise a little bit about Daniel Boone this Wednesday. See, Sasha? Oh my God. See, I'm not even making it up. You know what I'm doing. One of those put you in the hospital 2 years ago. Okay, well, here's the fun fact. Those things love me. And I still to this day can pick them up and love on them and play with them. And I did. I picked one up a couple years ago that I haven't seen any since, or I probably would. But see what I told you guys? They're actually a really dangerous caterpillar. And I'll post the picture in the Discord of little Devin chilling with one on her arm like, hey, this is my best friend. Aw, thanks, nurse. How you doing? 700 years old, but yeah. Yes, Venus. They're bright greenish yellow and they have all the huge black pokers. They're like famous. My purple aura. Is my aura purple, Skrilla? Is it really? I've never really had my aura red. But I do absolutely love purple, so that would kind of make sense. The other ones that can harm didn't do that, and I was a child then too, probably less dangerous. Oh. Than the ones you had. Oh. No, not the green fat ones. No, Bo. These are fuzzy. They're covered in fluffy fur. They're soft. Well, they look soft, but the black part are daggers. And they look fuzzy and soft. I used to play with them when I was a kid. And then it wasn't until I was like an adult and somebody saw the picture and they're like, dude, what are you doing with the dagger moth caterpillar? I was like, what do you mean? Those were my pets. And they were like, yeah, see, Sasha? Yep. And I didn't even know till my friends were like, you played with those? I was like, yeah, I literally had them as pets, like tons of them. I played with them in the yard. When they died, I buried them. I had a little graveyard for them. Like, I'm so weird. Now that I said that out loud, I'm like, wait, I sure did. I also had an earwig graveyard. Don't judge me. Oh my God, Justin, please pin that. Justin said Fuzzy and Soft was my dancer name and Build a Bear. In case you guys are new, Justin is my mod and my bestie. I love him. And if he likes to pick out things I say that are funny lines, because I'm not that choice with words. Sometimes I do tend to put funny words together. And then he will select them and turn them into a dancer name. But the places he picks for those dancer names are the funniest part of the whole thing. Like, what did you say? I can't even, I wish I could go back and get an entire list of all of Justin's dancer names he's ever said, because my God, they're funny. Like, the one made me like, I couldn't even finish my... Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of, Michelle, the Taco Bell one. What was the Taco Bell one? That is the exact one I was thinking of. The Taco Bell one had me, I couldn't even stop laughing. And the bathroom stall one, yeah. So in case you guys didn't know, Justin has iconic dancer names. The one, and one he said it, what was the one at Taco Bell? God, I wish I remembered. And he also had one that was like, yes, I did say Earwig Cemetery. You got that? Damn it. I did say that. I always had compassion for everything. And when things would die, I'd be like, oh my God, I need to bury it. And so I had this little section where I would like, by my lilac bush, where I buried everything. You remember that, She's a Beast? What was the Taco Bell one? Yeah, Michelle, even ants, yeah. But I have not changed. I actually rescued an ant from a spider web during the lockdown when I was hiking by myself in the middle of nowhere. And I documented it on video, and my friend actually wrote a children's book about it. Because I did, in fact, save an ant from a spider web. And then I took it to my car, and I helped it clean off the webs, and I gave it water and sun chips. And I took video of it. And yep. So I still am literally the same. I still do that. I would literally still do that. Hi, it's Regus. Hello. Yeah, Kim, the asthma clinic one. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Hi, Jackson. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through. 5 hours, no stops. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones. It makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, John. Thank you. I had taken the wrong exit, trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years. But the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. Oh my God, thanks. That was so cute. Thanks, Carmen. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map, and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm, almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. Thank you, Magical. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths. A long counter with spinning stools. Even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't been working in decades. And the people? They all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet. Like they weren't expecting me. Like I'd walked in on the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. Carmen, that was so cute. He had a donut. Thank you. A waitress. Tall, with a beehive hairdo, and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. You get caught in the rain, sweetheart, she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. Yeah, the highway's a mess. She chuckled and patted my shoulder. Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers. I sat down at a corner booth. The vinyl creaked, and I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. Michelle. I looked around and everyone looked normal, sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard, drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eyes, like they were there but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took up my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window, and the storm was still going. But now, the wind had picked up, and I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Deborah. But the diner stayed perfectly lit. Not even a flicker. The food came fast. Too fast, like under 5 minutes. but it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect, and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. Thank you, Tracy. Hi, Juanita. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over, collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff, just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. Tracy, thank you. I love that one. I love him in his vest. But when I stood up, the lights flickered. Just once, and then again. And then, everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in mid-air. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped. Oh my God, it was 11:42 when I said that if you're on Mountain Time. That's really bizarre. Like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back, and the jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music, not a storm, a voice. Not coming from anyone I could see, just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest, and I turned the knob. Locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just the wind and the rain, and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. Thank you, Tracy. I love that. Thank you, Mace. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Good night, Mary. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate. Still warm and still half eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by a flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless, like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. "The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in." She raised a hand, and the walls began to shimmer. Literally shimmer, like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled and the red booths started to fade, becoming outlines and then shadows and then nothing. And then I saw it. Underneath the illusion, it was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner had burned down long ago. Thanks, Tommy. Thanks, Tracy. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. One second I was inside, and the next, I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign. No glowing windows, just nothing. Thank you, Tracy. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No music. No Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone. Not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site and I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight and everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article? The same checkerboard floor. Oh my God, Carmen, he's so cute. Thanks. The same checkerboard floor, the same red booths, the same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little. Because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. Thank you, Mace. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Good night, everybody. I love you so much. Happy Friday. I hope you guys have a nice weekend, Memorial Day weekend. I'll see you guys again tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But during the day, if you would like to join me, I will be hanging out on Kim's live. Kim, if you want to pin yourself, we do paranormal watch party. It's so much fun. We hang out all day. It's like family. It's like home. And so feel free to join us if you would like. I don't know if she's still here. Oh yeah, she's here. Pin it. So everybody, if they don't know, on Saturdays we hang out on Kim's live and it's so much fun. Will it not let you pin yourself? There we go. Okay. And if you weren't able to fall asleep tonight, don't worry. Head on over to my YT channel. There's a bedtime stories playlist that will help you fall asleep very quickly. And the lives are also recorded and published over there as soon as they're done. As soon as I end my live, it's over there. So, and if you enjoyed yourself tonight, don't forget to follow me so you can find us again on the porch tomorrow. Hi, Drew. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I love you guys, and I'm so thankful for our community. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Good night, Michelle. Same time, same place. Good night, John. Good night, Kim. Good night, Krager. Same time, same place, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sweet dreams, you guys. And don't forget, stay spooky. Good night, it's Rigless. Thanks for being